All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, March 2nd. We have 5 games on today's NBA slate. Like we always do when we go through each and every one of these games, I'm going to give you my lean on the spread. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about any other plays, like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is where my final plays, so what I'm actually rolling with myself, my final plays will live. If you do want to do the opposite and fade me, go ahead and keep an eye on the pinned comment. In terms of last night's final plays here, another nice night. We are now on a 9-2 run. We go 3-1 last night. We'll take the cash. The Mavs Celtics under was kind of one that I was rocky about and threw it in anyways, and it ended up being our only loss, so egg on my face there. But RJ Barrett over 24.5 points plus assists, my favorite play of the night, that cashes. Pelicans minus 3.5, that cashes. And then Anthony Edwards under 5.5 assists. He finishes with 2 assists, but he left at halftime for the birth of his child, so there's my miracle baby. But 3-1 night there. We shall take it. The bad news is that the ride of the day does not come through, and we're on a little cold stretch with the ride of the days here. And I hear the comments when I say, oh, we're on a cold stretch. You're like, yeah, but if you could have picked me, you're like, I get it. We have some winners in the comments, but in terms of the community and the ones that we jump on, unfortunate to see this one not come through from Chile. Kristaps over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. It was a plus 100 play, so I liked the value there, and with the hit rate, obviously, as well. But he finishes with, I believe, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, so finishes at 8. And we got to drop the womp womp there. So shout out to Chili for trying. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, all you got to use is that hashtag ride of the day in the comments. Give me an absolute banger of a pick. I'm picking one person, and yes, that's why it's tough. Just one person to jump on board with, and then you get a shout out in the next video, win or loss. I'm also going to be posting it on my Twitter at EvGuyBoston and on my Instagram, EvPicks. Both of those will be rotating throughout the video in the bottom left of your screen here, so make sure to follow me there. We're going to put a lot more effort into Instagram, so if you guys have Instagram, because I hear the cries, I'm not on X or Twitter, blah blah blah, do you have an Instagram? I'm going to be putting a lot more content on Instagram at EvPicks with a Z. Make sure to follow me there. It's gonna rotate throughout here, but we'll be shouting you out there as well, so make sure to drop that hashtag right of the day in the comments. But all right, enough rambling here. Let's ramble some more. We have the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Atlanta Hawks here. So we just saw this game a few nights back, right? It was both of these two teams' most recent game on February 29th. It was in Brooklyn. Brooklyn wins that game 124-97 as dogs. Only 1-point dogs, so it was a pretty narrow spread, obviously. They come in here at minus 1.5 point favorites. I'm going to lean towards Atlanta even without Trae Young, just because, similar to why I really like the Pelicans yesterday, right? Like these sort of games where the two teams play each other in back-to-back games, it's like I don't really see the huge talent difference of these two teams. So why not assume that they're going to, kind of win one and then lose one in a sense. And I do think Atlanta has played okay without Trae. Trae Young is out. Brooklyn's going to be without Cam Thomas. And even with Trae Young being out, I still do think that this Brooklyn team has like some potential there. Jalen Johnson, Bogdanovic, Bey, Murray, and Capella would be a mediocre starting 5 in the NBA, right? Yes, Trae Young, their star, is kind of what they rely on, but it's not like they go, from Trae Young being out to this bottom of the barrel team. They have their issues, no dub. That's because they rely on him so much. I still think there's enough talent there if you go starter for starter to match up with this next Nets team. So I'll lean towards the Hawks here, maybe even on the money line for a little bit of plus money there. Total sitting at 220.5, excuse me. I don't think that I can get on board with the over in this spot. I do think if Atlanta wins this game, there's a higher chance that the over hits, but still, based on what we saw last game, I don't think that both teams are going to be out and running. Brooklyn scored a bunch of points last game, and Atlanta didn't. I could see it being sort of a flipped switch in this one. So I slightly lean towards the under, but I'll tell you right now, that's not going to become a final play. Much more likely to roll with Atlanta in this one than the than the under. In terms of player props here, one that I'm kind of eyeing, and I like it because he's hitting 75% of games this season without Trae Young on the court, and he hit last game, is going to be Bogdanovic over 2.5 assists. My concern is the volume there. Like I said, he's hit it in 75% of games, so 6 of 8 games without Trae Young this season, right? In 5 of those hits, he's landed on 3 assists. So just literally winning, just getting over that number. So it's a little worrisome there, but still, I do see him. Obviously there's a plethora of more assists to go around when Trae Young's not dropping 10, 11, 12. So I like him to get over 2.5 assists. Another spot here, and I do think that we're kind of, scraping the bottom of the barrel with this one. Taking a peek at Nick Claxton's under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This number is just still up there, and it's not like the Hawks are terrible against centers, right? If Clint can get some good play going, then I think that he can make it tough for him. He had 15 points, rebounds, and assists last game through 28 minutes. Like, I do think that if he plays a little bit more, it gets a little worrisome, but again, like, this is a number that's super high for Nick Claxton, and he's been an under machine as of late. But again, are we like, overstaying our welcome with this play? Because we've been looking at this for like over a week now. Next up, we have Miami hosting the Utah Jazz. Here you have a Miami team that I would say is still red hot, though they lose to Denver. It's kind of like an understandable win in Denver, right? But they have won 7 of their last 10 games. They've covered in 9 of their last 10. Utah, on the other hand, ain't looking too great. This is their last road game. And then they have a brief homestand coming up. I'm sure they're looking forward to that. I like Miami in this spot. Now, Tyler Hero is questionable. That's going to be obviously a key player there for them. But I still like Miami. I think that they're just playing better basketball, and this is the exact type of antagonist of a team for Utah. Like, Utah doesn't want to play the gritty team, the team that will slow it down and punch you in the face. Miami literally is that team. So Miami at home here, I can't help but take a peek at them. My one concern is that they really haven't been good to the number at home this year, but they're playing a lot better. So if you look at their season stats, yeah, they've only covered in 43% of games at home. But as of late, I already told you guys, regardless home and away, or home or away, they're 9-1 to the spread in their last 10. So give me Miami here. It's a big number, but you know what? I'm not afraid of that. Scared money don't make money. Let's see if that becomes a final play. Total sitting at 223.5. I have to look at the under too. If I think that Miami's really going to, and I mean like control this game, right? I can't help but think that Miami's going to keep this game a low-scoring game. And the good thing about that is that Utah, yes, they like to play fast. They can play fast. They're not an efficient offense. Like, Miami is a more efficient offense, even as of late, definitely, than Utah. So yes, Utah will play with a faster pace and everything like that. But, if Miami makes it really tough for them, Utah's going to have a tough time scoring from, anywhere other than maybe the restricted area, which is, even though they're a good defensive team around the rim, it is kind of where Miami struggles. But Utah isn't the best around the rim scoring team anyways, right? So I like the defensive matchup here for Miami, really to throw a wrench into Utah's plan. So give me Miami and the under. Player prop that I'm considering, and I do just think it's because I think he's going to get going, and he has been going as his Miami team has been playing well. He is a name you probably know, Emo Jimmy Butler here. I like his over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So like I said, they've won 7 of their last 10. I believe the 2 times he hasn't covered this, he's covered in 8 of his last 10. Those are both losses. So if he does, if the Heat do win, seems like Jimmy Butler's going to have a lot to do with that, which is like no duh, right? I also don't mind his points plus assists, even his points plus rebounds to some degree. So if you want to split it up and take a lower line, go for it. But I like him to, get all 3 stat categories tonight. All right, guys, before we go ahead and move on, I want to talk to you about OddsJam. By the way, I have a link in the pinned comment. It'll get you 7 days free. You can also use code GUYBOSTON and get even better of a deal. You'll get 25% off. But we're on the arbitrage screen. They have tons of tools over here, guys, that you can use to make, you can use these tools to become a more profitable sports bettor. We have a positive EV video coming out in about a week or so as we get it edited. But what the arbitrage screen does is shows you risk-free profit plays. And what I mean by that is you can use multiple sportsbooks to take each side of a bet. For example, Atlanta Hawks, right, versus the Nets tonight, over 217.5 at -110 on Fanatics. You could take the under 217.5. It has to finish over or under. You can't finish on a half point in the NBA, right? You could take the under at +115 over on BetMGM. Just for simple numbers, say you go and put, $100 over on Fanatics. You could put 88.79 over on BetMGM. Regardless of the outcome of the game, you will profit $2.11. You're probably like, that's a lot to risk for $2.11. The thing is, there's no risk. It's gotta happen either one way or the other. So it is risk-free. It's literally like a money tree. Yeah, $2 might not seem like a lot to you, but if you could just collect $2 every single day for free, you'd be dumb not to. So go ahead and check out OddsJam, guys. Again, that link is in the pinned comment. That was just one of the many tools they have over there. A link in the pinned comment, and make sure you guys use code GUYBOSS. Let's go ahead and jump back into the games here. Another instant classic, like we said a few nights back with these two teams, or actually yesterday, right? So we have Memphis taking on the Blazers. Memphis gets crushed yesterday. They lose 122-92. I think this one just flips on its head, but I'm not going to be betting it. So I'll lean towards Memphis in this one. But again, this is such a crap game. If you have a play on this game that you feel strongly about, we're dropping the psycho alert alarm for you because you are a psycho. But I love you for it. Total sitting at 209. Maybe we look at the over here. I know, this is such a crappy game and whatnot, but because it is such a crappy game, are either one of these defenses all that great? No. So I'll consider the over. But guys, that's about as far as I'll go in this game. I will give you a slight player prop. We don't have it out yet because the only player props I see are Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant available right now as we record this early. But Santi Aldama, I wouldn't mind considering is under PRA there, I guess, because of just what we've seen, and we cashed on that yesterday with one of our prize picks slips, which we could talk about now too. Actually, make it really, really quick. But guys, if you're not on prize picks, make sure to go check out Prize Picks. We cashed a 5 for 5 yesterday, turned $20, 10x'd it into $200. I'll have a link in the pinned comment for Prize Picks as well. If you don't know what Prize Picks is, you pick player props, put them in a slip. The more you win, the more you get paid out. With some states that it's changing in based on legalities and whatnot, they're making it pretty cool with some peer-to-peer stuff. So now is a cool time to check out Prize Picks. You can get 100% of your first deposit match. Go check it out. But yeah, this is a slip that I posted on Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube Shorts yesterday, and everybody was like, wow, actually, this isn't even the slip. This is a different slip. We cashed a 5 for 5 yesterday. Let's see if I can find the correct one. All right, I think we got it. Sorry, I'm just showing you so many winning slips out here. It's not my fault. But this one we cashed. We had Santi Aldama in there. And what's great about this is that I posted on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, and everyone's like, wow, this shit's not hitting. This is a terrible slip, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'd say to them? To you, and mixed with, for me, a nice little 10 times or there. Sorry, I showed you another winning slip that we had. My fault. But guys, go check out Prize Picks. That link in the pinned comment. You can use code GUYBOSTON. Just download it on the App Store. Get 100% of your first deposit match. But all right, we're talking about this game. Like I said, I'm probably going to lean Memphis and the over, but really nothing major coming out of this game, which, again, you're kind of a psycho if you love this game. Small NBA slate. There's definitely better spots on the slate, though. Next up, we got the Lake Show taking on the Nuggets here. This is one that I might get some flack for, but I do like the Lakers in this spot. I think the fact that they're only 1-point dogs is telling. You're going to want to keep an eye on the injury report for this game overall. On the Denver side of things, Jamal Murray and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, both questionable, as is Anthony Davis and as is LeBron James on the Lakers side of things. So those are obviously some big injuries to take into account here. But this is a Saturday night game between the Lakers, who, yes, they're 10th in the West right now against the team that's 3rd, Denver. But it's like Lakers-Nuggets. This could be a very good game that I expect LeBron, Anthony Davis, and all these guys to want to play, right? So we'll treat it like they are playing. And like I said, I like the Lakers. I'll sound the psycho alert alarm. I don't know if it's warranted, but we'll sound it because this is just a spot where Denver, as we've said all along, really hasn't been all that great on the road this season. In fact, they've been a fadeable team on the road. They've only covered in 40% of the games on the road this season. They've dominated this matchup, though. So that's kind of where I could see you making your argument for Denver. But I'm reading this line here. I just think the fact that the Lakers are only 1-point dogs shows that Vegas thinks that this game is going to be pretty close. I think that it's going to be a close game either way. It's a 1-point spread. Why am I trying to blow smoke up? You know what I mean? I just think that this is a Lakers team that's going to get up for big games. We've seen them win big games this season. If this was Denver at home, Lakers on the road, I'd probably lean Denver. So if we're having a beat right there and you're talking, no, I like Denver, and I'm like, no, I like the Lakers, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm telling you what I'm doing. In terms of a total, 227. So in these meetings with one another, they have gone under in 7 of the last 10. And I don't see why this would be any different. They've met twice this season, 119-107, 114-106, staying right in the 220s there. So I'll go ahead and lean towards the under as well. Because of all the injuries, I don't have any player prop action for you guys right now, but if I do, I'll put it in the pinned comment, and I'll also, what I've been doing is posting my final plays with more rationale and reasoning on my Twitter. I'm going to do that on Instagram as well, so make sure you follow me again, at EvGuyBoston on Twitter, and make sure you follow me on Instagram as well, at EvPicks. Picks has a Z in it. And yeah, go follow me there because we might throw a little more information your way when we do land on some final plays. Next up, we got Phoenix taking on Houston here. This line should say it all, at least in my opinion. Now, Bradley Beal is probable in this one, but the fact that this is a 10-point spread, it opened up at 10, it stayed at 10 as well. I think some books had it opening up at 9.5, which means it's moved to 10, which is obviously worth noting here. This is a Houston team that I'm so comfortable fading on the road, right? Like, that's become a theme of this show. I've said it so often. They've covered just 35.7% of games when on the road here. This is a Phoenix team that, you know, their last game was they have 2 days rest. I think that they should, or I mean, I guess 1 day's rest in between, but I think that they should be able to get this win. They played in the most recent game against Houston. Though it was an 8.5-point spread, I think that Phoenix obviously, you know, kind of controls that game, wins it 110 to 105. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't go out there and win by even more here. This Houston team, like I said, hasn't been trustworthy on the road, but even just as of late, you know, they've played a lot of road games, but even at home, they haven't been playing all that well. They did beat Phoenix when they're at home last game, so maybe if this is a 10-point spread and the locations are reversed, I might lean Houston, but not on the road. In terms of the total, 233. So again, they just played as a 110-105 game. Even back to when they did play in mid-February in Houston, it was a 114 to 110 game. So I'll lean towards the under here, and that definitely has a chance of becoming a final play. In terms of player props here, Alpi Sengun had a rough game, just 23 minutes, 15 points, rebounds, and assists. I could see that happening again, but the problem is Phoenix, you know, I know Nurkic is this big, beefy guy, but I don't necessarily think that he's the best defender in the world, but I do think he keeps Sengun to some degree off the glass, so I'm going to lean towards his under 8.5 rebounds, but that line's a little too low to me, so I don't know if I truly envision that becoming a final play. A guy that you know that we've been absolutely loving from a rebound perspective is Jabari Smith, and he's going to have the KD matchup. Like, I don't think KD necessarily keeps him off the glass, so I could consider over 9.5 rebounds for Jabari Smith Jr. But guys, it's gonna wrap it up for today's show. If you guys did enjoy, if you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Yeah, we're on a nice little run here. Who knows how long it will last, you know? But if you hate it, you're a guppy. If you love it, you're a real one, guys. Go ahead and comment 17 because you made it 17 minutes into the video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.